For Biafra must be restored, for there is nothing the enemies can do about it. We have come that the will of the Most High may prevail. Radio Biafra is unorthodox. The way we do things are markedly different from how others do it. We are under divine instruction. We have come that Ikechukwu may take control of these very proceedings this evening, for we are nothing without him. O Elohim, unto thee we repose all that we are. Do not allow your children IPOB to be put to shame. Do not allow us to be devoured by the hands of the wicked. Do not allow us, O mighty one, to fall prey to those who do not know thee. You will deliver us, not because we are righteous, but because of your mercy. Hear our cry and our supplication. We are not armed. We have not killed anyone. We have not jailed anyone. We have not done anything at all to warrant the level of destruction and carnage being suffering today. And if Elohim can deliver Israel, so will you deliver Biafra. That is our hope. That is our anchor of everything that we hold dear as a race and as a people. You brought Biafra that light may come into Africa. You gave us hope because we are in a continent of hopelessness. And by thy grace, Biafra shall be restored. We shall be For Biafra must be restored, for there is nothing the enemies can do about it. We have come that the will of the Most High may prevail. Radio Biafra is unorthodox. The way we do things are markedly different from how others do it. We are under divine instruction. We have come that Ikechukwu may take control of these very proceedings this evening, for we are nothing without him. O Elohim, unto thee we repose all that we are. Do not allow your children, IPOB, to be put to shame. Do not allow us to be devoured by the hands of the wicked. Do not allow us, O mighty one, to fall prey to those who do not know thee. You will deliver us, not because we are righteous, but because of your mercy. Hear our cry and our supplication. We are not armed. We have not killed anyone. We have not jailed anyone. We have not done anything at all to warrant the level of destruction and carnage being visited upon your children. The same way Israel suffered, so is Biafra suffering today. And if you, Elohim, can deliver Israel, so will you deliver Biafra. That is our hope. That is our anchor of everything that we hold dear as a race and as a people. You brought Biafra that light may come into Africa. You gave us hope because we are in a continent of hopelessness. And by thy grace, Biafra shall be restored. We shall be resurrected. We shall crown our efforts with the glory by the grace of the Most High himself. We are not strong. We do not pretend to be strong. All we do is to submit ourselves to your will, that your will may be done upon our lives. We have lost many people. We have lost so many good people. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. We shall honor them, and for their sake, Biafra will come. Israel lost people, and today Israel is here as a beacon of hope in a land filled with darkness. We beseech thee, Elohim, because we are wandering all over the world, hoping against every hope that things will turn around for the better. It has never turned around for the better. Instead, it is getting worse. Please do not abandon your children. You have given us a commission, and we must accomplish it in our lifetime. We have come to honor your holy name. We have come to praise thee. We have come to honor thee, that your name may be glorified, adored, and praised forever and ever. Ise, Ise, Ise. I welcome each and every one of you, wherever you are all over the world.
Ise, Ise, Ise. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, fellow Biafrans across the globe. Depending on your time zone, I'm reaching you out here from United Kingdom, and it's approximately 19:28, that's 7:28 p.m. here in United Kingdom. Anywhere you are across the globe, the only thing that will make you understand that we are live is that 28 minutes on top of the hour. Thank you, fellow comrade. Today is another wonderful section on critical analysis. And my name remains Mazi. George is Ikechukwu Umeh. I reside here in United Kingdom and a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. First of all, I have to apologize. I don't know what happened, but I set everything up since yesterday and I've been streaming. Suddenly, all the whole system went blank. So I have to manage it the way it's right now. But I thank you for your patience. Those are with me are those are going to join us later, or those are going to watch this program. From the beginning, the program was a bit sketchy because I was having network problem. Not network, I don't know what happened with the system itself. So my indulgence for all this disruption. This evening, as I've assembled again here in Critical Analysis. Critical Analysis is a program that I have designed through the auspices of Biafra, sorry for that. A little bit of I have a little bit of, I don't know what's going on with my mic, but we are coming to you live on Critical Analysis. Biafra Power Media International remain the platform we are using to propagate this gospel. As you all know, so many things are going on within IPOB, and our outlet, which is Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, has been bastardized by those that are supposed to know better. But God always, Ikechukwu will always define a means to salvage his own. We have come out, and Biafra Power Media is here to salvage IPOB, and those that still have their designing mind, those their frontal lobe are still active, we are here, and those that their frontal lobe is not active, it is imperative for you to key in and listen. When our leader came out, our leader was brutal. So many of us that accepted that gospel for the first time we had it, you might count yourself as those lucky ones. I'm not saying that you are one of those that we are called. But I would say that anyone that have had Mazi the kind of voice and join IPOB, that was a privilege, and probably you're in the spirit. But in this part of journey we are in today, there's going to be a lot of rocky journey that we are in, as we have experienced in 2015 and again in 2021, now in 2022 to 2023. This same journey, I remember Nnamdi said that Biafra project is 30 years mark. For some of us do not understand what we do. I will give you an example. If Israel, as powerful as they are, no one could ever pronounce Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, you know that what we are fighting for, the demons we are fighting for, like Nnamdi will always say, are far beyond what we can imagine. But because of Ikechukwu I have designed this particular platform, and Nnamdi himself was given this mandate that Biafra will be restored in our lifetime. So this evening, as I have assembled here, this program is designed to open your mind. It must be critical. You must be a critical thinker to understand what we are doing. Over time, I'm just giving this monologue this evening to clear some air. A lot of people think, when some people will tell you you're fighting leadership, there's no leadership in IPOB that excludes Nnamdi Kanu. I'll reiterate. There is no leadership in IPOB that excludes Nnamdi Kanu, and we only have one leader. And that one leader is Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB practice what we call command and control CIC that buttress in our code of conduct, and every single thing we do, we only have one leader, whether he's with us or is somewhere, the same struggle, because he knew where he was going. That is the reason why people must not be an opportunist or get themselves confused, like our First Lady did on the 1st of this year, January. And when she addressed Biafrans on Radio Biafra, he made it abundantly clear, and he reiterated again, and that's why I've been pushing that particular, because that is where our problem lies, our frontal lobe. Because it gets a lot of people so weary, and so many of us, we get weary when we don't use that particular part of our brain. So this evening, as we all have assembled here, we're going to go into a lot of stuff this evening. But first of all, Onyendu say, when you do good, we praise you. When you do bad, we shred you. My monologue this evening is going to include Governor Ikechukwu Masoludo. I'm calling out the zoo government to do the needful. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been, released unconditionally, that he must be released unconditionally, even vouching to release Onyendu to him. Wow. We have to listen to him before I will air my view on that particular statement, because those that ought to know better have turned a blind eye, and we said that how long are they going to turn this blind eye and think that things is going to be okay within the Biafra land? Those that are claiming that they love their people must come out now and let their voice be heard. You must take a stand.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
And I now want to appeal and plead and request and demand of the federal government and our able president, led by the able President Buhari, that a critical person required around that table for that conversation to be complete, for us to have an all-round approach to dealing with the issue of insecurity and discussing about the future of the Southeast. That person, and we need him urgently around the table. Please release him to us, and that is Nnamdi Kanu. I'm calling on the federal government to please release Nnamdi Kanu. We need him around the table because we believe that we now want to have a comprehensive, heart-to-heart conversation about the future of the Southeast, about the future security and prosperity of the Southeast. No one should be left behind. Everybody should be there. If we cannot release him unconditionally, as requested by the court judgments and so on, I now offer to be the shorty. Release him to me. I will keep him. Release him to me. Release him to me. Release him to me. Solution is here. Solution is here. I will.
Biafra Alpha Power.
Well, like I said, his bravery, I will have to give it to him for standing out and air his own voice to the whole world to hear. Because at the end of the day, those that are still purportedly leading us in Biafra land, in the enclave of Zoo, must have their own voice to be heard, to the world to pay attention on what we are looking for. Because if you remember, Onyendu made a comment one time that he'd been in so many places and bruised so many times. First thing they asked him was, what are you doing on the ground? Regardless how anybody wants to think about it, at the end of the day, every single person that sees himself as a Biafra that found himself on that particular geographic location should be thinking inward. What are they going to be my own contribution? I'm not going to dwell too much on this issue. This is what they should have been done. So all of them should get up now and do the right thing by urging their masters to release our leader unconditionally, because our leader have done nothing wrong. All we are asking for is what is even inalienable right that is enacted in their own law. Self-determination is enacted in the Zoo law, is in their own constitution that we don't believe in. But ironically, they have it, but they choose to turn a blind eye. But at the end of the day, one thing is certain, regardless whatever they have done or what they choose to do, Biafra shall be restored at the end of all this turmoil. And our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, remains the arrowhead. He remained the voice of the voiceless. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has woken millions to billions of people from their slumber, and I was one of them. That is why I vowed, I've given everything in life for Biafra. It's not because I want anything, because Mazi opens my eyes. I knew that something was missing. There are those that were born to liberate. There are those that were born to give back. I'm not the type that receive, I give. My input is what required. And that's why Ukike brought all of us together. Those that Mazi Nnamdi can require us to push forward to restore Biafra. Wherever you guys are, like he said, at the end of this program, I'm definitely going to play that particular video. His lamentation that he want the real men now. That is the time we are. And those 100 men and women with clean hearts, Biafra shall be restored in our lifetime. Let's get down to the business of IPOB. Critical analysis is for those that have open-minded, no prejudice, and no apology. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never apologized to anybody. That's why IPOB have come triumphantly in everything we do. And I said there is no room for cabal within IPOB. There is no room for shenanigans. And there is no room for blackmail of lying propagandists. We don't peddle lies in IPOB. But today, within the cabal that have led by Chike Doziem are finding hard to use Mazi on him because he does not deserve it. From me, I wouldn't use Mazi on him. That is how I feel. And at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But as far as I, George Umeh Ikechukwu, is concerned, this man have united in the graves of our heroes and heroines, and now have the temerity to now trying to circumvent or to achieve what enemies want. And what is that? Within IPOB, this man has become building IPOB within IPOB. It was an agenda. And some of us saw this when these people was driving this home. We gave them that particular way to see where they are going to land. And God, as God might have it, and that's where we are today. And there's something I need to say before I will go in to start to play voices and show some, write-ups from them. Because what we do here, we come here to educate Biafrans. Like I have said before, and I still maintain my words. Mazi Chike Doziem have lost the voice and the mandate of him to command IPOB to do anything. I, George Umeh, said it, and I have a reason for it. And like I've said over time, any of them or any of their media worm want to come out themselves to say things contrary to what I have said. We don't just wake up in the morning and start talking. We'll have our facts and figures out before we should embark on anything we say, because we have to back them up. Now, I want to make one thing clear here. The issue of finance within IPOB, they know that finance is the heart of IPOB. And when they knew that Onyendu was going to be renditioned, Mazi knew what was going to happen to him. But he knew, just today, they are talking about him. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out alive. Like I told you, 2015, mark my words somewhere. If something will happen to Onyendu, I am George Umeh will be the first to tell you that. 2017, 14th of September, to be precise. This same thing Soludo is talking about today is the same thing that happened when Onyendu went to that meeting in Enugu. And I agree with the governors. And told them what they want. Because we are fighting for Biafra. Even if we said we want to go back to regional today in Biafra land, which is we have in here in United Kingdom, every region, developed by their pace, then it's the same thing that we have Biafra. What we want to govern ourselves. And for some of you don't understand what regional, what confederation means is that you grow by your own pace. In this country here, Scotland, is Scotland pushing today they want to have their own independence because Scotland is actually have the resources like we do. I think they have gas and oil as well. But they have fed up. And they joined this union over 450 years ago, 400 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But they're knackered. If you ask a British man, they're tired of it. and how things are going, they're not comfortable anymore. So they want to opt out. The same thing we are doing. And how is that going to happen? After that meeting they held in Enugu with the Southeast governors on 2017, to then to go to Abuja to bring on the agreement on what our own package and what we want to go back to that regional. At the end of the day, what followed suit was the organized Operation Python dance that took a life of 28 men, including Jack, and Onyindu survived that onslaught in Afari-Quebec and surfaced in Israel after 13 months later. The same thing carried on to lost the life of His Royal Majesty and Her Majesty, Lolo Ogeze. And that is where we are today. After that, Onyindu himself still soldier on, never relent. Today, our leader has gone back to where he says he's going to be leading from the front. And guess what? Those that Onyindu has given that mandate on certain degree to oversee the affairs of IPOB and to pass his message on script. Onyindu message must be delivered on script. Onyindu message must be delivered on script. And that is where all this problem started. Today, Soludo is telling you that Mazi and Kanu must be there if they want everlasting peace in the Southeast. And ask yourself, where did all this problem emanated from? For one single disobedient. 96 hours before the sit at home, Onyindu instructed that sit at home must be suspended. But guess what? On Chikedo's word, which I'm going to play here, he said, Onyindu, he asked the reason why the sit at home must be suspended. Even before the sit at home was first initiated, announced on Radio Biafra, there has been instruction, suspend the sit at home subsequently. And the person you're doing this for is the same person you want him to come out. But they have a different agenda. Because what we're having today is that people have changed the course of what we are looking for. And that is why people like us have come out. In critical analysis, it must be totally, liberated from innuendo and all this sentiment and emotion. Because at the end of the day, if you look in word within IPOB today and you tell me that this is IPOB, Mazi and they kind of found and left the team almost 19 to 20 months ago, then you know that all of us are lying. And this is not the first time we've been in this position. 2015 was the same script, nothing changed. It's when they're auditing it, they didn't have this chance then because Uchemofo was there to block them. Onyindu message was uncensored to deliver it to the Biafrans. And all the problem we're facing today is because Chike Doziem choose to do what he think with his cabal and China Sanwo-Olu purportedly projecting himself for what he's not. And over time, they build what they so-called media worm, the church card media worm. These people are if you had the guy that live in Germany begging for €2, whether you're working or you're not working, I don't really give a monkeys about that. But everybody could see these people are wretched in mind. The offering that contributed in IPOB is your target for you to fight media warrior. To be a media warrior, it must obtain from IPOB. That is not IPOB that I know. That is why I've said every single IPOB member that have a mobile phone is an media warrior. Today he's telling you, let me say something here. You see a blackmailer, whenever they talk and listen to what they're saying about the person they want to blackmail, his excuses was because those people that, actually getting followers, streaming Mazi and Kanu's broadcast. But he's doing the same thing. He forgot to tell the person that Rapture Media that is in is not IPOB platform, but only Ikechukwu, your former, the head of media, need to tell Biafrans why they allow a platform that does not belong to IPOB to be streaming Radio Biafra that they know that millions of Biafra are watching. And they are making a hell of money out of that streaming. Because you know what was going on. He want to build his own. Now he doesn't want to stay in Rapture Media. Now he wants to build his own. People like us, we use our money to do whatever we do. Those that live, those that are around will tell you. Build zones. And the irony is that none of these individuals, all these so-called media worms, none of them have actually served in IPOB. Pick up one position and be humble to be a servant of the people. Voluntarily, without expecting nothing in return. I have not seen them. Now they're rewarding them with coordinator and whatnot. This is why we will not allow them to see the light of the day. I have said it to Chike Doziem and his cronies. When I judge Umeh come out to talk, I don't just come out to talk. I'm not idle. I have kids I look after. I work. I pay bills. And I still do my job for IPOB because I sworn an oath to restore Biafra. Those that rant every single day on social media are not talking for IPOB, because how many times have you heard these men come out protecting, talking about Mazi Nnamdi? Sometimes they start campaign. This Mazi Nnamdi, now you know Mazi Nnamdi will be released. But all along, he's been disobeying Mazi Nnamdi. Even the same people giving advice openly to Chike Doziem and his cabal to disobey Onyendu. And they oftentimes quote our code of conduct. None of them knows nothing about our code of conduct, including China Sanwo. These are a bunch of retards. And they think we live in I don't know where they think we live. You quote it just like somebody quoting Bible that somebody can pick up and read. You quoting code of conduct that is in front of anybody. And you guys think you can shield yourself within IPOB to commit crime. IPOB does not shield people that commit crime. If you commit crime, if you on social media uttered unguarded word against individual, the person can take it up with you. It has nothing to do with IPOB. Onyendu broadcast we are streaming today only made it clear there that if they said that Buhari is not dead, let them sue him anywhere in the world. He will be there to prove it. And none of that you won't find his case they are charging him today. He vigorously campaign because he has irrefutable evidence. You can't just run your mouth because you don't know what cybercrime is. People commit suicide by the word people tell them online. It is more severe than physical crime on this day, cybercrime. Let me educate some of you idiots that don't understand what you're doing. You sit in your comfort zone, you'll be talking nonsense that you don't even know what you're saying. Because somebody told you to say so, you think that person will defend you when he comes. He said the US is in his side. The US is in your side because you're a moron. Because you understand we live in a civilized world. You're being called for questioning. Questioning start investigation for your information. But what I'm saying tonight is this. I'm going to play, because my system got crashed up. A lot of things was loaded in the system. Now I have to get them one after another. So you will be bear with me when I'm trying to upload the information I have to use. We are professional here, so everything we do is being pre-planned. We did prep before we start the program, but quite unfortunately tonight something went wrong. But I persisted. I have to come on air. So now I want to start by playing the voices of those that call themselves the leadership within IPOB. Because the reason why every time we come on air, we need to get back to this individual is because they are the root cause of our problem. Some people said in Chike Doziem broadcast before the New Year or whatever, who listened, I will never listen to him. I don't know what he says in there. That people should go back to their zones. People you have driven away should go back to their zone after you have destroyed what Onyendu and the blood of our people, because you know what you are doing. You know there's so many people that are gullible. They will fall in the wrong hand. You label them autopilot or you label them what is it called, infiltrators. This is pre-planned. We know what you guys did. Weaken IPOB within. That is why you guys went for our finance. But I want you, Chike Doziem and your gangs, to lay your hand off IPOB finance. You see, when Abani came, that nitwit, that evil man, held meeting saying, don't listen to anybody that come on Radio Biafra, telling people to divide IPOB fund. That's why they started with Nelly Ofebu. They were in the same boat with Nelly Ofebu. All of them was working together. Chike Doziem said that he wasn't working with Nelly Ofebu. Then the day we will prove the document that Madam Oyibo, Chike Doziem actually agreed that Madam Oyibo have taken over IPOB. I'm just giving him heads up. Because what I want you to listen, I don't gossip. You see that document? Some of you have that document. You're acting like you don't know what we're talking about. I've sent it to some people that can confirm I did. Some idiots. There's one in UK here sending me some garbage, one hungry. All these wretched people that in Biafra around. You're writer. Writer will kill you there. Can get that right. You're writing something because you want to get €50 or £100 from somebody. You don't have your own mind. Want me to read your write-up? Garbage you're writing. What do you know you're writing? I don't read people write up. Do you know why? Because what you write I already know. Guy protecting DOS, you want to talk about DOS, Kanu, took somebody that called Kanu indirectly a bastard, and the Israel Kanu and Ugweze wayward. Do you know what that means? He come for questioning. You might be ranting on social media, but don't forget that Europe. You see, Adeyinka's son. Do you know how many times they invited him in police before he was actually convicted? I'm just letting you understand. Adeyinka's son was not arrested one day and put in prison. It started by, first of all, what they call litigation. That's what this is first phase. And before that happened, there's evidence that something has gone wrong. And it must be investigated. Biafra Alpha Power Media is standing in the gap of Radio Biafra, because since you guys have bastardized Radio Biafra, Biafra Alpha Power Media has now stand on the gap that we don't have anymore. It's not coming on air on a daily basis, doesn't change anything. It's about the quality of the information you have to deliver to our people. So what I'm saying to everybody, you're claiming that you're a media worm, be guarded. We live in a civilized world. Can I say some people saying, oh, this is a civilized. You know it's a civilized world, but we are talking like someone that live in a jungle, in a civilized world. How do you fathom that? How do you comprehend it? IPOB does not shield evil or criminals. Whatever you have said or do, you are liable to defend it when somebody have called you up. When IPOB is defending or fighting against what we believe, at least we have evidence. When we go against BBC, we will go against Facebook, we go against countries, we have evidence to back them up. Onyendu picked up on people, we have evidence to back them up. You don't just come up and start talking because you can talk. So I will leave it here. I just want to clear the air. I'm going to play a couple of their voices before we move forward on that. One thing I'm going to say now, I'm saying this directly to those that call themselves in leadership. I know you guys are going around Europe. Chikedozium, this is not the first time you've done this. 2015, he opened an account in Switzerland. As soon as he has problem. But we are forced to shut it down because he didn't have it. Then he were just ordinary European rep and secretary to the US. So, and Uchemofo wouldn't let you guys do anything. Uchemofo was the only blockade you guys have 2015. That's the, a lot of people don't understand, but that's the fact. And now it's some of you don't understand what happened 2015. But I'm telling you now, the reason why this thing came up by Clifford Edwanya them, and they couldn't do it, and they were driven away with Umeh them, and they formed their own group then. They called Soldiers of Justice. They fought tooth and nail against IPOB. They couldn't succeed because then they didn't have access because they wanted to hijack Radio Biafra, which Umeh refused. But as it now, Radio Biafra has actually 50% hijacked by these morons, because at the end of the day, the people they allow to work on Radio Biafra are those people. They are controlling what they say, and when they bring them in, they allow them to come on Radio Biafra now and be now carrying attacks and blackmailing against their own fellow comrade, which we took oath we will not do. Radio Biafra will pay for it. That's the difference. So I want it to be clear to everybody. And that is why today is very few people that listen to Radio Biafra, and that's fact of life, because there's nothing to listen to. Like I said, anybody that is pure, if you're pure in heart and understand why you are an IPOB member, you don't need to listen to Chike Doziem. Because if Chike Doziem disobey Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then what is Chike Doziem for you? I don't understand how that's where the front rope comes in. It's like somebody's preaching the word of God to you, but he does not believe in God. How do you deal with that? Chike Doziem does not honor Onyendu. So why would me honor Chike Doziem? Just give me one reason why. They think Onyendu is going to die in prison. Governor Solodoni has come out, Onyendu did come out. But these people don't want our leader to come out. That's the truth. Now, I will start first of all to put up a write-up that Chida Sanwo-Olu wrote. That is how you see how evil that guy is. I have said it over time. You know me, my own is that when I took up on people, I always say it. This is Chida Sanwo-Olu write-up. This Chida Sanwo-Olu, this guy, though he's in posture, that is why he's, I know people knows him. But like I said, people like us, I'm not looking for him because he have his day. He said the only message they always sent to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's, a very idiotic person. Why is doing in Onyendu's name in detention is Chida Sanwo-Olu did this, Chike Doziem did that, sacked the OS. I am waiting. This is a word of daring our leader. I've told you guys over time. This is a daring word. This clown. This is the Chida Sanwo-Olu write-up. And you will see people commenting there. He asked these people commenting, are these people human beings? Who is DOS? What is the meaning of DOS? DOS is Directorate of State of IPOB, which is the body that governs IPOB. If you are part of IPOB principal officer, automatically you are under DOS. There's no group of people that is DOS. It's just you working. You are working and you can be... None of these individuals have a permanent position in IPOB. It's temporary. And this guy they call Chida Sanwo-Olu, to life of me, he is just ordinary Middle East rep before he start quoting himself on what he's not. Nobody gave him any security outfit to manage or whatnot. But look at what he's saying here. This is the problem we've got because they speak in radio and direct. I'm going to play their voice. About 4 of them is together. I will intermediary get involved to talk about when they are talking. This is the people that are leading IPOB and what they are doing, what they are actually doing now is wicked because they have done so many things that people lost. What they build is to lost. Someone was telling them it's going to destroy the US. They agreed. That's why they give that leeway. They couldn't do anything. They're telling you they're destroying DOS. But you ask yourself, who is DOS? Can DOS function with Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? That is a fundamental question. This is Chida Sanwo-Olu right up on his Facebook. The only message they always send to Mazi MKs in detention is Chida Sanwo-Olu this, Chike Doziem that, sack DOS, I'm waiting. This is a word of daring Onyendu. Because Onyendu is incommunicado. Fellow Biafrans, Ndi Igbo si na ada agba, are ejugebe enyi ihe gbanaka. This guy, like those that know him, one thing I'm telling you is this. The wrath of Biafra will visit you. It's just a matter of time. The hatred he have for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, scale, he put it in scale, that scale will bust up. I said this before, but your words always confirm who you are. Your words always confirm who you are. I'm going to play the DOS voices. I want you fellow Biafrans to help me to listen. Some of you have listened to it, but it's very, very imperative because sometimes voices might play, people don't pay attention to it. The wordings that come out of it. At the end of the day, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is incommunicado. So anybody can take shot at Onyendu at their own given time. They don't really give a toss about our leader. They don't want to know. they have emboldened. Anybody can say whatever they want to say against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The family of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is their saga. I remember AGO4, which they believe that he is one telling them the truth because he's part of their gang, actually brought a message from Onyendu distinguishing Kanu Takanu, Caroline, Madam Nyanya, that they knew nothing about what happened to Onyendu. Chike Dozium for one day never commented about this, never wrote a memo about this, but he was busy writing memo against those that are standing against their uproar, their agendas, what they came to do to destroy IPOB within. But I tell them one thing, IPOB is a rock. You can try, but at the end of the day, any water you throw on stove will always wash out. All of you will wash away. Just mark it somewhere, because what we are doing is more spiritual than physical. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where he is, he knows everything. Because if Onyendu has any sign of trust in any one single one of you, he shouldn't have said in 2019 or 2018 when he came out, when he was asked, how many men have you found out of 100? He said not up to 3. Even then, Uchemofo was still with us. That tells me that Onyendu knows you guys by your names. But our leader have to walk, because at the end of the day, he will not walk alone. That is why none of his family members had any position. Onyendu could have made all his brothers, put them if he was looking for something. But no. Even when Ojo Kanu went to visit Onyendu's family, he told them straightforwardly. The father and mother told him that our son is old enough to make his own decision. This family is unbribable. Oku Kanu family is unbribable. That's one thing I can tell you. If you could do it, come out and show us what you could do. Because I've put through a challenge. Can any single one of you put your family's pictures on Facebook? You wouldn't do it. Our little wife came on air to talk, to encourage Biafra. You guys will be looking to see what she said that favors you guys, but forgetting you. All of you are dead cells. The words are actually directing to individuals, including you people, because if your frontal lobes are working, active, you wouldn't disobey Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm just letting you guys know, because at the end of the day, it is not about the word, the thing that is favors you, that he jumped up like a mad dog. I'm going to be playing their voices to us to listen to what they have to say. Those that call themselves, they're claiming they are the leadership and they are DOS, because over time they want to intimidate people with DOS. Just like us, Abani will tell you, why don't you accord the same respect accord to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Chike? You see where they are direct. You see where they are coming from. That they have been, if these people, I don't want to say much, but God in heaven bear us witness. And before I start playing their voice, there's something going on in Italy as we speak. They have been threatening the Italian coordinator, national coordinator, about account or no account. This is what they have gone around the world doing. This is a gang of criminals. Because anybody that divert IPOB fund, that is a criminal offense within IPOB. It's now a code of conduct. And you have the right to air it out, to voice it out. If any finance that our head of finance is not aware, that is fraud within IPOB. There is no if but. Chike Doziem have got no business with IPOB finance. I said it like I told them before about Madam Nyanya. They were arguing because they have agenda to kill IPOB with them, but they will kill themselves. Now the same thing is happening again. I'm saying it loud and clear here. Chike Doziem have got no business with IPOB finance. He has got nothing to do with IPOB finance. That is how IPOB structure is. Chike Doziem knows all these things. Chike Doziem have not told Biafrans how much was paid into Umeh account that he knew that it was a fraudulent account. Chike Doziem knew. This is not just verbal words. There's a proper, irrefutable evidence to back all these things up that Chikedozie might end up in prison for allowing $747,000 hard Biafra money that was an account Madam Oyibo shut down and collected the fund, even with audio. Chikedozie was aware of it. Chikedozie was aware that account Madam Oyibo opened was falsified in signature of Onyendu. Onyendu never signed any power of attorney to her. Ejiofor was part of this whole gang crime they committed. This criminality, Ejiofor was part of it. I'm making it abundantly clear with an apology. But they're still driving in. They've come to United Kingdom here. With the first ESN fundraising we did, I don't want to go back on the medical corps fundraising we did and what they do with the money. I don't want to go on that side. I'm just talking about the one that happened 2021, which is the first ESN fund, about 38,000 pounds we raised here. To tomorrow morning, nobody knew where that money went to. 12,000 pounds they raised on illegal so-called legal fundraising that Onyendu was not approved. We don't know where that money is. The last one they did, the result of that 20-something thousand, nobody know where the money went. Chikedozie, after he told Biafrans to pay money into Umeh account, that he knew he was fraudulent, and after he asked people to stop paying, because what they are doing, they will cause that mayhem and come back and reverse it. Now, Biafrans, because majority their frontal rope is not working, they won't ask questions. Have you asked Chikedozie, why did you ask us not to pay money into Umeh account? And by then, the person they have created as a distraction now jumped on it. The website of IPOB was hijacked. They were paying money into that account. Now, the question is, Chikedozie, how much was paid into Umeh account? Because we don't know how much was paid in there. That was the problem that all of them have, including so-called Nelly and Simon Ekpa, because I'll mention their names. These are people that they know who they are. All of these people are working together. We'll have you refutable evidence to say all of them work together. But in outside, just like he accepted that he was talking to Ejiofor a month before they start having problem, tell you that all this whole thing was pre-planned to distract people that their mindset is not there. Your frontal lobe is not working. That's why they distract you. Now you're talking about somebody who has got nothing to do with what we are doing. That the main people committing the crime is within the house. The most dangerous thing that have ever happened is what Nyanwodo proposed in 2017, which Omofo was there. They couldn't do it because this was what the agenda from 2015 to weaken IPOB within IPOB. They could not do it. They created Tripop, Ripop. None of this worked. Just state of justice came. None of this worked. But guess what? Chikedozie today is perfecting all these things. They will first of all act like they're not involved. Why did Chikedozie come on the Biafra announce Umeh account? But he knew that Umeh account was fraudulently opened with Onyendu falsified signatory. But you know, ironically, the woman that is United Kingdom here, that is UK National Financial Secretary, with how God might have it, one day in the meeting, no one asked her. She opened her mouth and said, that HND asked me to pay 10,000 pounds in Umeh account. By then, he has announced in Audio Biafra nobody should pay dime in that account. Because what happened is when they start sharing money, they start having issues. Then they will reverse their course. 747,000. Chikedozie and his gang knew this is the money Onyendu was. Listen to brokers who are broadcasting. That was money Onyendu was firing. Some people are holding our money in America. And that was why they divide their attention to attack Madam Nnamdi, because Madam Nnamdi was meant to be overseeing that account. Madam Oyibo will give that account login in the afternoon, in the evening she will log her off. That is where all this problem started. Now, they have now vigorously campaigned because Abani, if you remember, Chikedozie came on Radio Biafra and announced that if you want to do any fundraising, you must contact Abani. Ask yourself question, why is Chikedozie now getting involved in IPOB finance? The day I will deal with finance, I have all his audio voice. We have all of them. The reason why I'm making this announcement tonight is about Italy. Italy should be no-go area for it, because I know that some people in Italy, even those before that were claiming that they want say autopilot and all that, they have come back now. All of them are frustrated, and some of them are looking for position, because now they know that there's money. They're sharing money. So people now want to occupy position. Just like someone begging to €2, you know. outrightly. He didn't say you come into meeting. These things are not allowed in IPOB. These things are not in that. Onyendu made an announcement say you can never mandate any fund in IPOB without the knowledge of the head of finance. It is on record. But all these things on the wind. Because Chike and his kindred, people don't know that Austin Alban and Chike all of them are from the same place, but they will tell the IPOB is not a family business. We know all these things. What we're saying is that this man cannot destroy what our people have paid with their own blood. And people are still paying. And our leader has been locked up over 2 years. Going to 2 years now. The parents have paid that ultimate price. And these people want to ridicule what we have been doing. So Italy, they threatened the entire national coordinator that he must show them the bank statement. Chike show us who made the account bank statement. Chike tell Biafrans what happened to 747,000 first ESN account. Chess Bank that Madam Oyibo shut down by herself, including you were involved of it. This is things I expected you to be worried about. But now, you people have gone around the world stifling IPOB finance. You're not satisfied. I had it in one of your audio talking about Italy account. Italy account was opened by our leader. Our leader was aware of the account. All this account was authorized by Onyendu in conjunction with head of finance. Chike you're not a commercial person. You are H&D. Do the job you've been assigned to do. People say they have a new leadership. There's no leadership in IPOB. That is why I said these are clowns. And Onyendu in infinite mercy. Anytime I'm on air, mentioning Uchemofo is a reference for some of you idiots. But like I said, Uchemofo is 1 million times better than all of you, even as what you have done today. Quote me anywhere. And this Uchemofo waited Onyendu and held on with Onyendu, has an argument with Onyendu when Onyendu was outside. They had a disagreement. Onyendu need to deal with it. It's not my problem. But when Uchemofo come out to talk nonsense against IPOB, I'll remind him about those people that have died under his watch. And the blood of our people will haunt him and his generation. But what I'm saying tonight is that Uchemofo is 1 million times better than all of you put together. As I'm talking, as of today in IPOB. Because Uchemofo for one day never questioned Mazi and Kanu or try to. Uchemofo deliver Onyendu's message organically without censored. Organically without censored. And that is why we were driving flying highs. But today, Chike will have, because what they do is that they have meeting within meeting. Before they call national meeting, the Cabal have already have their meeting. They have made their decision what they want to do. They're coming to that meeting is just for those people they think that probably they are the obstacles now. What are they going to do? Once you say one thing, all of them will attack you. Attacking dogs will bark. This is what we witness. We are the principal officer. Some of you are ranting on social media. I have said, before you advise me, please pick up one position in IPOB. After that, then we can have a conversation. Okay, now, Italy. Because the next program I'm going to come on next week is going to be about Italy and our finance. I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to be brutal next week. Mark my word. When I say something, I don't mess around with it. So you guys need to do yourself a favor. Stay clear on that account. You have carried your smear campaign around the world. We know what you're doing, but you know what? You guys know you are on a dish. Mazi and Kanu will come out triumphantly. Onyendu will come out because he say, I will lead from the front. One thing is certain, at the end of all this journey, the two IPOB will emerge. I have showed you what Chinas and Wolu say, but I will play the voices of them. I want you to listen to Chinas and Wolu and Chike Doziem and Austin and this guy they call Nzurumike. Then he understand the kind of people that God, because you see Chukwu Kabiama, there's a reason why God do things. Even Yeshua knew that those that we are going to sold him, Onyendu knows these people by their name. I can categorically tell you that Mazi Kanu knows all these people. But you need them to accomplish this journey. They are required in our path to succeed and to restore Biafra. You see these people, they're required. And that's why we're here. Anybody telling you that it's going to be an easy fight? No, because you go. Some of you have forgotten that when you say, go and watch Enemy at the Gate. I will recommend you tonight, again, Biafrans, I'm reminding you tonight, go and watch a movie called Enemy at the Gate. You understand the part Chikedozium and his gang are playing. They are in the both side of the eye. The double standard. Mazi, before Onyendu was religion, Onyendu urged all of us. And that night, Onyendu said this thing, that same night, I don't know if Saturday or so, I was lying in my bed. I just tuned into Netflix. I watched that movie. I don't have time to watch movie because I'm preoccupied with what I do and IPOB. I don't watch football. For years now, I don't have time. I don't. I've given up a lot of stuff. I don't watch movie. I go about 4 television in my house, everything. I don't. Oh, because my kids will tell you that he's on phone all the time. Just like today, my son was asking me. He was born 2015 when I came back from the zoo. I gave him Nnamdi. First film Nnamdi Kanu shirt we printed in United Kingdom here. I bought 4. When he came out from birth, he was wearing Freemason Nnamdi Kanu. He was asking me, Daddy, who is this? And I explained to him who Onyendu is and what Onyendu stands for and why I gave him his name. These are kids that were born in England. Doesn't matter what you do. They got privilege. But I have to tell him that this is the guy and give him the history a little bit about our internal leader. And that's what we owe to them, to tell them why we're doing what we are doing. My birthday, this past birthday, I posted a card because they made a card with their hand. I don't need anybody to tell me happy birthday. I posted it on Facebook because they remember, they know what I stand for. That's what I'm saying. What have you given up for you to be a Biafran? Am I talking to Biafran because I live here? I could have said, you know what? Like I have decided I'm not going back, but I want the freedom of my people. And this is what they call volunteer with all my heart. We work day and night tirelessly to make sure that our people have a place they call their own. That's why we have come out. I didn't come out to come and make friends or make kindred or have meeting or make you love me. No. We already been oppressed. Our people been oppressed. We are here to, to redeem the dignity of mankind, of the people of Biafra. That's why we're here. So, I will play their voices and comment on them. I'm not going to be long. A couple of their voices I'm going to play, and looking forward on what's going to happen next week. But before then, let's listen to their voices and see those people that we are. Onyendu has given this mantle of leadership to lead us. Yeah.
Suspend the sit at home. And I asked our people, those that I had discussion, I said, but what is the reason? Did Onyendu give any reason why we should suspend it? And they said he didn't give a reason. And I asked them, but you tell me, what reason would I give Biafrans why I am suspending this sit at home when our demands has not been met? That was my question. I asked those both in DOS and those who were not in DOS that I had the opportunity to speak with. They were there the news. I asked them, what will be the reason I have to give? And with that, sorry, I think I'm trying to mix a little thing here, but the lawyers have not come back to us now. Now, this is before the night, the first day of it. So when I was asking them, what is the reason they want us to suspend this thing? And they told me that we should use NECO as an excuse. I mean, we should use NECO because of the exam that the people are trying to hold. And I said, but NECO doesn't really, it's not the strong excuse to give the Biafrans why we should stop the sit at home. And I will be very, very frank. And I will take the responsibility. I haven't said it on air before because it's not, I don't come on air and I said, because there is no reason from our leader that we should stop this sit at home, that we are going to go ahead with the sit at home. And then we went ahead with the first sit at home. After we did the first sit at home, and it was a huge success, unbelievably successful. Then, after that same Monday after the sit at home, the lawyers had a visit again to Onyendu, and they now came back and said that Onyendu said we must suspend that sit at home. So that message came now the second time, and I said, okay, if Onyendu insists, after the evidence we have provided that this thing was successful and that our people were willing to do it, if he insists, I will suspend it. And I suspended it. That instruction came from Onyendu. And anybody who tells you otherwise is lying. And that's how I'll answer that question for you. Now, when we mount up that pressure.
For those that might be listening, the first voice you heard was Mazi Chikedoziem's voice, where he's narrating. He's narrating how the reason why he actually disobeyed the highest command in IPOB, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But probably we're going to hear him again, where he's actually admitting that we must not isolate our leader on his own words. That is how pertinent and very, obvious on the part and how double standard this guy is. How ridiculous and obnoxious Mazi Chikedoziem is. So many people does not understand the words that comes out of their mouth. And the definition of that word is what you must take home. Chikedoziem knew. And they have admitted. And this was when all this Umuada highway put him on check, because he was working with them. And they ridiculed him in a meeting and posted it on social media. He admitted there that we will always be pushed across that Onyendu is in charge. What my question is, when you listen to this voice, what has changed? He accepted that that's why he's an obedient follower. So many people think that, some people tell you, oh, you're fighting DOS. This has nothing to do with DOS. DOS is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is DOS, which is the body that governs IPOB. Chikedoziem is occupying position there with all this gang of Cabal that he had just built. To weaken IPOB within. I want you to use your frontal lobe. Allow it to work. Critical think. This is the word our leader's wife was giving you guys. When somebody says something, critical analyze. That is why this program is called Critical Analysis. It's critical when he come here to you to listen to what we say. Question is, what has changed for Chikedoziem for questioning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to give him his reason why he should suspend it at home? But as God might have it, the reasons are now staring at Chikedoziem's faces. Chikedoziem, the question with your Cabal is now, what are you going to do to now reverse the course and the mayhem in Biafra land? Because it was just one single disobedience from you. The whole Biafra land is ablaze. That is why you must understand that you cannot even fit in Mazi Nnamdi kind of finger. Because what Onyendu see, he said he see things in, even the zoo, all of them today agree with Onyendu directly or indirectly, because everything Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have uttered from his word, from his mouth has come to pass. Only thing that remains is say Biafra will be the last miracle. And that's where we are now. That's why I'm telling people, don't go weary on the path we are going. All you need to do, make sure you take a stand and take the path of the truth, which is the path of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing else. You all know, if you follow Onyendu's direction, your heart is peaceful. Like I said, if I finish this program, I go to bed. My woman knows me. She's telling me, I have a sleeping disorder. In this country, that God name for everything. You sleep like a baby because I think nothing. I owe nobody anything. My heart is clean. I speak with no grudges against Chikedoziem, but only I'm pointing out to Chikedoziem to him to understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu life is in danger. Chikedoziem oversee people desecrating the palace of Afaliku Ibek, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is apparent heir to the throne today, which is your leader. And he said nothing. You want me, George Umeh, to shut my mouth? That is why in old days, we were the people, I think it was our set that we were born before things changed in Biafra land. Because we know that people don't lie in our place. Where I came from, people don't lie. If you lie, that's something that happened to me when I was growing up in my family. And that was the thing that stemmed me from our people. I became so, I don't know how to say it. I became abstained because when I see segregation in a very gang-up manner, this blackmail, even people are dying because of their lying. People still hell-bent. That's how bad it was. So Chikedoziem, question to you to question Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I think you see what that question has brought us to. And Soludo today, or yesterday I saw, I think Zelari made himself proud to stand in that gap to tell this Zoological Republic, whoever is wearing masks ruling the country, because the Buhari died in 2015 or 2017, which everybody was aware of it. 2017 to be precise. And buried in shallow grave in Saudi Arabia. There's no question about it. There's no apology. That is very clear. If they say it's no, they don't put it in the charge they give our leader and they will prove it in the court of law, which the court of law does not exist. It doesn't function in that damnable Zoological Republic. We don't just come out and talk. Onyendu have taught us well. And one thing you must understand is this. IPOB is not a tea party. We are freedom fighters. And we are fighting demons. Because Biafra has remained the only thing that's Biafra is the only thing standing between the light and darkness. Once Biafra is restored, they know the light has come on this fucking earth. Because Biafra will change everything, especially in our race. Regardless where you find yourself in the world, you'll become proud. Because we are godly people. My question to Chikedoziem tonight. Did you see, when you question your God, the repercussion of it? Did you see, for singular disobedience, what has become of Biafra land today? And Onyendu still reiterates, when he had the opportunity to speak, I think it's 20 seconds, for the first time, all this while has been held incommunicado in court. He said, let Biafra land be peaceful. That is why I'm here. When I heard that voice, I wasn't surprised, but I was fulfilled. Do you know why? Because I know who I'm following. I didn't just wake up and join IPOB. I had a voice. And that voice was missing in my soul. Mazi Nnamdi kind of voice is an angelic voice. Only people that were divine. That was one of my friends. There was a day I sent him link that the Onyendu was on David Cameron. The guy said, George, no, we're not listening to this. And later the guy told me my mom is booking mass for Onyendu. I said, well, it's fine. Because what we see, you can't see it. We attached our leader because the spirit that is in our leader. If you're pure, I'm not saying that, just a little bit of it. That blessing will be upon you. Because you're dealing with a man that is very, very, very... Our leader is whiter than snow. Even if you go close to Onyendu, so many people that got privileged with our leader think that Onyendu is an ordinary person. When he came to UK here, I warned all these people. I said, this man is not an ordinary person. The first time I had privilege to see our leader, I tell them, I don't want to go close to Onyendu. Because you know why? There's something in him that you don't know. That is what, no matter who Onyendu is, he can't do him anything. Even those people coming to all of them are being careful. Don't forget that the first DSS that manhandled Onyendu, after that thing happened, the guy fell. Our leader is not a man he can touch anyhow and live tomorrow. My question to Chikedoziem, what has changed to project that Onyendu is being charged. He knew this Chike does him. My question to you, what has changed? And you know you're putting our leader in danger by publicly admitting that he disobeyed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on Radio Biafra. And people keep quiet, saying leadership, protect leadership. Which leadership are you protecting? You need to explain it to me. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go on with the one they call China Sanworu, the devil himself.
They started, everywhere started to panic. When we declared this sit at home, we got a message from the leader that we should call off this sit at home. I don't want to go deep on people. There were people who played a very dangerous role against that sit at home for their own selfish interest. Because I expect you to come here to ask, when we put sit at home, you saw that Nnamdi, you saw the people opposing the sit at home. You saw them. And you saw people who were giving them thumb up. It is that destruction they want in IPOB. It is to destroy and discredit the IPOB leadership. After due consultation with our leader, we went ahead, conducted the first sit at home that was carried around.
Just for record purposes, if a pathological liar, this idiot, if he's a human being, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was spirit leader. Suspended sit at home 96 hours before China Sanwo-Olu come on air and announce that sit at home. He said after due consultation. The clown speak English, he don't even understand the meaning. He said after due consultation with our leader. But your leader told you 96 hours before that first sit at home. I want to follow this particular audio just bit by bit because I want people to take this home. This guy, if he's a human being, like I said, which is not interest to me, but I will address him like like an imposter, personally. But I know he's a human being because I remember 2015 when Onyendu went to Kuwait. He hosted our leader then, but there was no video shot to show who the guy was. Like he's claiming that Onyendu said, hide yourself on social media as a who. That is a lie. This is when he was trying to sell himself because they plan all these things. He projected Kanu to be a leader once Onyendu was rendition. Kanu to help and asked him, are you demented? When they had Simon Ekpa was going to be their leader, all of them go ballistic. That's where all of them get problem. After they share 747,000. What you be asking China Sanwo-Olu, I just want to point out when he say due consultation. That's why I'm stopping it. Yeah? Then I'm going to go forward to explain.
The war. Our leader continued to send message that they sit at home. We should call it off.
Yeah, but did you hear him say previously? Okay, I'm going to push this back. Before our leader was sending message. Let's listen to this. I want you to listen to this.
I had conducted the first sit at home that was carried around the war. Our leader continued to send message that they sit at home. We should call it off. The message continued to come. Everybody was reluctant to call it off.
One thing I want to say, Biafra, don't forget that this is a spot check. When they say Q&A, moron. Do you see him come to the Biafra to do Q&A again? Because they do stage manage to call people. Onyendu normally do Q&A on Fridays. Across board will call Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And Onyendu doesn't get angry. The one thing is that leaders are born. You can't make yourself a leader when you're not one. Just like as I am here now, yeah? If I put a telephone, like me and Mazi's age, we used to allow people to call with the critical questions within IPOB. I'm not bragging. I'll answer it and ease and lecture you as well on top of it. So Onyendu does not open phone because why would I get angry with an IPOB member if I'm pure? I only direct you. She doesn't want to get angry on people because they are lying. That's why they can't come here anymore to answer questions. All these audios we are playing, you see how God deals with them. They don't know that Chukwu Okabiama work in a mysterious way. Now, this somebody called on Radio Biafra, asked a question, and now is giving reason why they didn't suspend the sit at home. But he didn't tell the person that before he came to Radio Biafra to announce it, 96 hours before the announcement, Onyendu have instructed them. Just like Chikeleze previous said that Onyendu sent message, then he asked why. That time is asking why was 96 hours. Do you know what is 96 hours? 24 hours make a day. 24 hours makes a day. So put it in, calculate it, 96 hours. How many days was it? How many hours? I want somebody to tell me 96 divided by 24. You tell me how many days, how many hours was it? How many days was it? And he's telling you after due consultation. Just like he said in one of his ranting that Code of Conduct told him that when Onyendu is not there, Chikeleze takes over. He asked him, on which Code of Conduct did you read? On which paragraph in Code of Conduct did you read that? Who do you think you're talking to? Some kind of idiots or some morons are you speaking to? Critical analysis is not for my comrade Mazi Ezumezu normally said that it is not a popular demand, and I concord with him. It is not a popular demand. It opens your umlangata. You know, that frontal rope is what we are targeting to wake you up. Don't carry that way with your leadership. Leadership without Onyendu is tantamount to zero. That's what they used to blackmail people. Today, they are now openly begging people to go back to their zone, even after they have now diverting our money. They're eating blood money. That generation will pay dearly for this. For their Mazi and Kanu and IPOB at large. Chukwu Okabiama will never forgive them. Mark my words somewhere, George Umeh said it without. I'm telling you that Chukwu Okabiama will never allow Chike Doziem and his gang of, you see this Cabal they be with IPOB, they will never go scot-free. Mark my word. We see people die miserably. I don't want to mention their names. And you could see their condition. Even Onyendu is in DSA. Look at Mazi Nnamdi. Can you compare Mazi Nnamdi with the Chike Doziem and Austin Agbani? Just, and because I want you to see Chidas and Woru. If you're a human being, unveil yourself. Mazi Nnamdi did not ask you to hide yourself because you are irrelevant, my brother. I'm telling you, if you're a human being. But like I said, they want to use you. That's why they want to use you. When he started shouting like a mad dog, I knew that we were driving somewhere. I knew there's something not real about you. Even I have defended that name without even knowing who the name was. And I have evidence to back it up. Like we said, we don't just talk anyhow. But let's continue listening to him.
Why I'm explaining this thing is that at the end of the day, I want you who have supported them, because they sit at home Monday, our people have been voluntarily. When we announced they sit at home, we got messages. Even we are not normal. We know that spoken word cannot be retrieved back. But the enemies of this struggle, they continue to attack the sit at home. They continue to bring excuses that NATO is coming. This one is coming. The university is 6 months on strike till now. They use it to blackmail the IPOB leadership, if you are not aware. Everywhere was that the Chike Doziem and Chinasa Woru, they don't listen to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is saying.
Now, I just want to, like I said, this is a critical analysis. This platform, it doesn't mean like morons, or people that are using pseudonym to come and comment is irrelevant. The same person that just told you that Onyendu was saying that everybody was reluctant. Now he's the one saying that what he hear that everybody is saying that Chike Doziem and Chinasa Woru does not listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Do you see how contradictive he's in one particular section? He's talking, contradicting himself, because once he lie, it requires 100. If you lie one lie, at least you need 10 to 20 to cover it up. And that is why when they were making all this comment, they never knew. They didn't see this particular side of what we are doing coming, because Chukwu Okabiama have planted this particular day for them. Little do they know. They don't know. And they don't know what is coming.
That they disobeyed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And you are one of those people. I am making you a direct accusation. Some of you, like you, were part of the people carrying all this kind of rumor that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them to allow somebody to come on radio. They refused. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them to cancel the seat at home. They refused. I know this struggle. That word that I spoke, because it was in conformity in what the leadership agreed, and it was the best for.
Did you listen to him that it was in conformity with what the leadership agreed, and it was best for the leadership? But the same person told you in the same particular section that Onyendu was sending message to suspend the seat at home, but it was conformity with what the leadership. He asked a question. Who is this leadership with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? I will give you an assignment tonight. Go, if you're not a principal officer, you can go back to your coordinator. You've taken oath before. The content of the oath, because you know the oath is something that we do it under 5-10 minutes. Some people don't remember the wording. Now, or you don't remember those wording. He just walked away. Or our code of conduct, you can go to your coordinator and request for, because I send it to people in my zone. I email it to everybody. Because as a member of IPOB, once you take oath, our company with the code of conduct, those that were in IPOB when the code of conduct was not actually in black and white, I email it to all of them. It's your duty to you to understand, just like when you go to job, there's code of conduct in every job you go today that you are working under. You must abide to it. If you don't abide to it, you intend to lose your job. So go read the code of conduct and tell me where in that code of conduct Chinasa Nworu or Chikedoziem's name was mentioned, or where the position there say that is a permanent position there. The answer is no. But you can listen to this clown trying to project himself what he's not. But people like us are here to undo them, because we know that the contract they have taken is to destroy IPOB within, but they will destroy their generation. That's a promise.
The struggle. But you were there when people were blackmailing Chinasa Nworu and Chikedoziemo. It was to avoid saying that we disobey Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because we must always listen to him, whether in the DSS
International.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and I was saying that I thank sister that just spoke, especially again because at the last conclusion of her statement, she said it all because she said, I'm the second in command. I'm the second in command. The first in command is there. I cannot honestly be expected to take over the work of the first command. The first command is reachable. He is still in charge. And that is what I have been trying to let our people know. That is also what the enemy wants us to do. They want us to isolate our leader. Isolate him in the sense that believing that he's not in control. Onyendu is in control, and that is what we must push across. I am second in command. When there are issues,
fellow comrades, critical analysis, we don't play gimmicks here. Neither do we propagate falsehood. Whatever we do fact check first before we commence on it. I start with the voice of Chikedoziem on this DOS, this gang of DOS. This gang of, board of DOS. I use the word board of DOS. That's the right word, because DOS is this is arm of government, arms that govern IPOB. Yeah? That's the department of IPOB that foresee IPOB day-to-day affair. So I would say some of the board of DOS that have turned into a cabal. It was questioned our leader in the beginning of this particular audio why the sit at home must be suspended. Right? But now, you will listen to what he's saying. I want you to carry on going.
That I can deal with immediately and deal with as second command that does not need the input of Onyendu, I deal with them. Because I know he has taught me how to deal with those issues. But if there are so weighty issues that we need the first in command to make an input, I will act according to his instructions. And as I'm speaking to you, Oyendu is seized of the allegations about his head of finance. I know the instructions that he told me to carry out. Based on that, he has not asked me to remove anybody, and I cannot remove anybody because Oyendu, people are going around saying, I said it on my broadcast, and I'm very disappointed. Are we deliberately trying to isolate him? Because that is what they want us to do. We must push it all the time that the Oyendu is in charge. That is what scares the our enemy. If we reduce his authority, we are putting him in danger. And I cannot be part of that. So until he tells me in that very serious allegation, very serious matter, that he appointed the head of finance and taking into account that these allegations have been there before he got this issue that he has now. He was already aware of it. He hasn't acted on them, and up to now he hasn't asked me to act on it. I don't think it's reasonable for me to act without his authority. I can't do that. That is why I'm a very, very simple, obedient follower. That is how it is. I know where my responsibility lie. I know where my duties lie. I know where I am expected to act, and in those areas, be rest assured that I will act. Where the input of Oyendu is needed, I will wait for his input before I act. We are here also, we may disagree on that, but that is my outlook of this whole situation. I have been in this movement.
Okay, this is the second voice of Chike Doziem, and this voice was actually when the Omada Highway put him on check. From the beginning of this audio, where Chike Doziem was asking Onyendu questions. Apparently, for those that don't know, Onyendu called off this sit-at-home. That's when I say 96 hours, but I'll give you the date, which is on 5th of September 2021. 5th of September 2021, Onyendu instructed that this sit-at-home must not go forward. Then nobody were aware of this. Yeah? And that day was a visitation whistled and they called for lockdown. And the lockdown was called on the 9th of September. That was when they called that. And because of there, when he was making this reference about when he asked those that bring the message, because Onyendu's order must be respected. Onyendu don't have to give you a reason. That is why NECO came in, because they were questioning Onyendu. And now a suggestion came in and said, give the reason that NECO, because our people, our children must go to school. If need be, whereas Onyendu have already given you instruction, do not go forward with this particular sit-at-home. IPOB started sit-at-home since 2016, and we have been successful. Lockdown, we use it as our BizBite referendum we done, on 2016. Every sit-at-home is lock and key. We've done it, so it's not the first time. But we call sit-at-home, we dissolve it. No one has ever had. Onyendu was in the dungeon. 2015, 16, 17, 18 to 19, we had numerous sit-at-home. For one day, it was never discussed how about of that sit-at-home. That is where you know that Chike Doziem and his gang of parades they are not here to restore Biafra. They're here for their own agenda. And that agenda, majority of the contract they have taken, they fell and now stumbling into what they have done. But for the record's sake, Onyendu call off that sit-at-home. Even he called it off within the IPOB leadership by saying, so, don't go forward. Listen, Onyendu say, don't go forward with the sit-at-home announcement on the Biafra on the 5th of September. And they called for this lockdown on the 9th of September. So, I don't know what else to tell you, because at the end of the day, And you ask yourself, Biafra land today, who is responsible? Even those people that are causing those mayhem today in Biafra land, that's courtesy of Chikedozium, and as I accepted, that is going to take responsibility. And all the responsibility falls in his shoulder and without no apology. Let's move forward on their voices.
For Alpha Power Media International.
To court. With the state of the mind you have seen our leader, do you think our leader is not capable of making any decision? Something he sees may affect him or affect the struggle. That's number one. Number two, the IPOB leadership is not taking orders. Every order. What Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing is to...
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
Times are different with the time we are in. The kind of detention somebody is equating to that you don't take orders is the time.
Yeah, sorry for that. Is actually make a mistake. It was on 5th of August 2021. Yeah, to 5th of August. 5th of August. Yeah, 5th of August 2021. 5th of August. 5th of August. And the sit-at-home was called on the 9th of August. So just get that record straight.
When messages passes from one hand to another before it gets to the leader. Now, we have been in this struggle. We work with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ask the lawyers. There are message. If they bring it, we told them this message is not what we expect. That means the message might be diluted. We now use our brain and decode the remaining things we have to do. That is why we are...
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
Now, this is still China Sanwo-Olu talking. That they can ask the lawyers that when they brought message, some message has been diluted. Now they use their brain to decode it. Do you see where our problem lies? That is why I said before, and the point of reference on this whole thing is Uchemofo. That's why we have Radio Biafra. Uchemofo now sometimes comes up on middle of night and make a broadcast, repeat it in the morning. So those that were asleep will listen to that particular broadcast uncensored. But he had him now saying that when there is a message, he cannot go back to he can't go to DSS dungeon to meet Onyendu. But when Onyendu has been sent message, the message he accepts is one that suits him. The one he felt that it doesn't suit him, now he rack shoulder with our leader and use their brain. So why do you need message from Onyendu? Why don't you use your brain and run IPOB if you are capable of doing it? If the messages that are bringing to you been censored, you know, all you need to do is board a plane and come down to the zoo. You accuse Bruce Fame of being paid 50,000 anytime you go to the zoo. He's an American, but he's going to see our leader. But you live in Kuwait in desert. He never attempt to go see our leader. Even when they accuse you went home, he denied it. And he using Fine Boy as an alibi. He put your camera. But it probably is a fact. Because on what you guys are doing there's nothing they say you guys do. I will come out and say you didn't do it. Because you guys have done capable things that no one even aware. I've defended that name without even know what was happening. But you know, people like us, we don't just jump into, because in IPOB, we don't blackmail. Our code of Sunday say irrefutable evidence. I can't just come out here and be talking, mentioning people's name, calling Chikedozium. If I don't have evidence against Chikedozium, I wouldn't do it. Because Chikedozium have got some evidences against him within IPOB leadership. I'm a principal officer. There's things you have done that he shouldn't have done. Even things you have said publicly that he shouldn't have said. Like questioning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is what that disqualified Chikedozium from being involved in any part of IPOB arm of leadership. Uchenna Siebu was only thing that kicked him out of IPOB. He disobeyed Onyendu. To suspend his comrade, he disobeyed Onyendu. And that was it for him.
There are many people who have refused to respect and obey this IPOB structure. Some people went home They said because it's only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu I will respect. When he is out, I will come out. But let me give you a message. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also take advice from the IPOB leadership. We do advise each other when we have things. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is somebody who takes advice. Put in your mind, you have closed every door to even work with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because I know when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out, you go to him and tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because you were not there, I didn't want to work. And if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tell me to work with you, I will tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I won't work with you. Because if in your absence, you don't respect the leadership, you don't work with anybody in the leadership. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is out, you come to work with the leadership. We won't work with you. It's as simple as ABCD. And he will understand our stand. Because you can't insult. We are building a nation. We are building a country, an institution. Now, at the end of the day, if
I want to comment, because you see, a blackmailer sometimes they become, they become obnoxious. Now, some people who doesn't understand will say, "Oh, he said we are building a nation." Oh, some people who doesn't respect the leadership when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was there. But how would the person respect you while you are indirectly sitting on indirect insubordination, grossly one, against the leadership of IPOB, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Can you, the point I'm making here, the reason why we continue to play these voices, because these people has got no voice to talk any longer. They will remain, their mouth will be hanged on their jaw to the rest of their generation, because they have by the finger that fed them. He's telling you about leadership, but his boss is not being respected. So how you intend now to run IPOB, that we are building a nation? You building a nation, your leader is being incommunicado based on the nation you want to achieve. Now, the only thing, and your boss, the hierarchy which she does them know, we should not isolate our leader. You yourself knows that, because we did not isolate Onye in 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, T20. That is why IPOB still exists. Because if it was this pattern you guys are using that we use, IPOB could have died a natural death. So what you're saying, you actually violate need, but you're still talking about it. Very, very important. People pick up your words.
What of if Biafra comes today? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu retire, that he said he don't want to be the leader.
For your information, Nnamdi said once Biafra is restored, you moron, because I know you don't follow our leader. Nnamdi said the day Biafra is restored, everybody stand down and his job is finished. None of his family member will held any position in IPOB, China Sanwo-Olu, if you're real. I will put in Nnamdi because I know you don't follow our leader. Because if you follow Mazi Nnamdi, you will remember his words when you talk. When Biafra is restored, none of us will stand talking about leadership. Everybody will stand down. The Biafran people now will now decide who is going to rule them, and everything will be done in the open for record purposes.
Leader emerge. You say you won't respect that place only, then you go home and you sleep and close your mouth shut. It is stupidity and the ignorance. Anybody opening his mouth anywhere and say, I don't listen to anybody, only Mazi Nnamdi. You are stupid. When you are making such comment, it doesn't show that you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That does not what it means.
Of course you do. When you are indirectly disobeying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it's 100% are those that love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because China Sanwo-Olu, if you were not a threat to Nnamdi, by you coming out and say that Mazi was sending message, everybody was reluctant. I don't think anybody. I said I have defended that name. I don't know you. I don't need to know you because we have a structure. So anybody that today that have gone against you is those that still have their discerning mind intact. Just know that.
It shows how stupid and selfish and ignorant you are. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not only him, it's IPOB. It's not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that. It is the IPOB made Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lead IPOB to the glory also.
For information, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made IPOB because without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there wouldn't be IPOB. Just know that. indigenous people of Biafra. All of us are indigenous people of Biafra. But that name to excel, Mazi Nnamdi made it possible. Mazi Nnamdi registered it here in United Kingdom. He has that vision. So for you say that IPOB made Mazi Nnamdi, that's a wrong word. Like I said, you are a vindictive against our leader. And that is why you are the first person to come to Radio Biafra to take on Kanu, telling Biafrans that he know what happened to his brother. And Onyendu sent message, but today none of you addressed it. The way you talk shows that you are far from the reality. IPOB did not make Mazi Nnamdi. Mazi Nnamdi made IPOB. Mazi Nnamdi slept in the street of London here in Tesco. Chumafo confirmed it. When he lost his home here because he was sponsoring Radio Biafra. Kanu Young, his younger brother, was living here with him. So two of them was going through this struggle. None of you know. So for you to say that IPOB made Mazi Nnamdi, you're a very, very devilish person. For your information, IPOB is in. Just some people are claiming that they are indigenous people. Nobody take that away from you. But that name to become what it is today, someone made it what it is today. And that is why this is one of the problems of fighting United Kingdom. For you to remove that name, Mazi Nnamdi, from company's house. It was that single movement for him to register IPOB in company house that brought us to where we are today. So for you to open your gut to say that Mazi Nnamdi did not make IPOB made Mazi Nnamdi, that's a fundamental error. Correct yourself. Okay?
Trying to say only when Mazi Nnamdi will come out, you come back to the struggle. That is for you. Remember, most of you, we have marked many of you. There are some of you who have, because Mazi Nnamdi had problem. I'm not asking you to respect me. I don't need respect from you. Respect the institution. Respect the structure of IPOB. Some of you who come and talk rubbish on social media you are not even up to my younger sisters. You are not even up to my younger sisters. Some of you not even up to my younger brothers. You are not even up to my cousins. People who respect us. We have a lot of people who respect us. You are nobody. But you come, you put your mouth, because talk is free. You come, you demonize the leadership. You think tomorrow, if when Mazi Nnamdi come out, you come, you say, because that time Mazi Nnamdi, that time you go and walk in the office of Mazi Nnamdi. If he takes you, you walk there. If he don't take you, you take your bag and go home and sit. Dear friends and all the lovers of freedom, we have stayed very long on this program. I didn't.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International. Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
There are things we can praise the pot in everything we scatter. Yes. But as we are planning it also, we take, sometimes we do inform our leader also. We say, wait. But there is a time we also, because we don't want what happened in there. We don't want what happened.
You know why I'm playing all this guy's voice? I want IPOB, genuine IPOB member that still have their frontal rope working. Chike Doziem is a green snake in a green grass. And had this guy they call Abani now become the real chameleon within. Now, both of them think they are not, they're not audible to talk. So probably they think they found voice on this guy, this pseudo guy called China Sanworu. If you listen to amount of blunt that this guy have made on Radio Biafra, all these things he's hearing is his response on Radio Biafra where we worship against Mazi Nnamdi. I don't understand if some of you understand the implication of what this guy have said with his own mouth. This is just chunk of it. I allow it tonight to play because for a reason. I just want you to listen to Chike Doziem. Listen to Chike Doziem have said his own, judge himself. That is bad. But this guy called China Sanworu, listen to him and the way he talk. He will be saying something, indicting himself on that same talk he's talking about. But because he has already hell bent on what he's doing. Just listen to him. Onyendu will send message sometimes, we inform Onyendu, but sometimes they use, he's projecting the Radio Biafra that Onyendu message is quite irrelevant to what the decision they make. So after you listening to this, what does this tell you? And how do you think our enemy perceive this? Like China's Chikerezium have already admitted that we must at all times project that Onyendi is still in charge. I just want you guys to use that critical thinking. Our leader wife mentioned this when she was talking. And the Frontal Lobby retreat our leader. And people thinking, that's why this is a critical analysis. We are not here to pat people at back. It doesn't matter if it's one person. Because Onyendi say 100 men and women with clean heart. If we have pure, genuine people, because IPOB is more than 100 countries in the world, one in which one country, Biafra will be restored. But we must be pure. After listening to this guy, the damage that this guy Chinasa Sanwo-Olu, what have come out of this guy, man, the people that knows him, they must make him available when the time is right. God be my witness.
During the sit-at-home order to repeat itself. We don't want. We don't want an order we will give now. The enemies will, and we feel it may be too early. We don't want to do it based on what, because of these enemies, infiltrators. Let me tell you something.
This is the tools they use to confuse so many IPOB members. They said enemy, and they tell you infiltrators, they call autopilot. All these things was orchestrated to divert your attention. But if you will go down and sit down and listen to this guy's voice, what has come out of his mouth, and how those voices was eating them up by himself, you ask yourself, who is the real autopilot? Who is the real infiltrator within IPOB? Who is the real enemy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Chinasa Sanwo-Olu is the number one enemy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. Quote me anywhere. After you listen to, this is just chunk of his voice, and all this allowed on our platform we paid for. On our platform we paid for. Onyendu used to take a very accolade that the whole world listened to Radio Biafra. I'm still asking, is it the same Radio Biafra? Listening to this clown, this is his voice.
Tell you something. This thing we are doing, if we don't handle it very well, because that is what the government wants us to do. When we just mention back, you will see they will use anybody. You saw what happened in the sit-at-home. You saw it.
Did you see what he just said? He said this is what government want us to do. If he mentioned back, that is why when they start mentioning his name, every state managed the zoo they will mention Chinasa Sanwo-Olu because he's in contact with these people. I've said it before, and I don't just say things without any backing it up. Why are they mentioning his name? Even the person that was never in any IPOB platform mentioned to be heading any security architect within IPOB. That's number one. In this particular audio, you will listen to him what the government want us to do if we mention back. And I said it before, whatever Chinasa Sanwo-Olu do is liable to it. It has nothing to do with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Biafra land is in turmoil. It's not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it's in them, because Mazi Onyendu instructed them almost 4 days before they made it. Was on 5th of August 2021, and that lockdown started on 9th. Do the math. So it's on record. That's why we have to reiterate it all the time. And Onyendu, the opportunity they had in court, he made it clear that he want Biafra land to be peaceful. Chinasa Sanwo-Olu was the first person to use the Biafra to blackmail a fellow comrade. First started with Kanu Takano. That Kanu Takano told them that Onyendu was in the mountain to tell Biafra, oh, he knew what happened to his brother. And that was a campaign the whole people carried up. Chinasa Sanwo-Olu, if he's a human being, he have done so much stuff that, listen, if you not question who is this guy. I remember one of my comrade in my zone was when the guy was literally an autopilot, if you want to use the word, but I called him disgruntled up IPOB because of all this nonsense going on. There was question, who is this Chinasa Sanwo-Olu? Then we are defending that we don't have to know every IPOB principal officers. Yeah, fair enough. If he was in a good course. But when the light have shared and the truth comes out, you find out that this guy is an impostor. And I know his position in IPOB. And I've speak to people that is very close. I'm a principal officer. That's things I know. I don't have to come here and be ranting about it. But I'm holding them responsible for their own words they have uttered. I'm going to deal with them tonight because it's almost 2 hours. Probably I'm going to have a midweek program this week, maybe like Wednesday. I want to go into their errats, and what transpired in Germany and all that. I'm going to talk about it. Probably it's not going to be tonight because I'm going to have a very busy week. This week we are coming in, even though I put a lot. I've got my personal stuff to do as well. But like I was saying, so at the end of the day, if you listen to all this he's saying, you ask yourself, which way do we go? But I want this to finish before I end this program.
You saw it that just to announce something for the benefit of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because he was not listening. You saw it. You saw his brothers came out, issued their own press release. You saw this is what they are waiting for. They came to counter all the effort and that pronouncement. What people don't understand, they were fighting a wrong fight. That pronouncement, that the same day I made that pronouncement, one thing people don't know is this. I didn't make that pronouncement by my own power. But somehow I was asked to always go on radio to speak to our people. And that was the time I was given that instruction. And the moment I pour out that word, it becomes like waking even when we want to call it off, the members of the DOS was saying we cannot call this thing off. But it's because of the pressure, putting pressure on Onyendu, and at the end of the day, it's the sit at home not heading to 1 year. People capitalize on it.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International. Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
And where every evidence, he goes see that now. He need to me onye ndu na Ikechukwu. Can you imagine? Hi, alwe man.
And the offense should all reaction of human being. All human reaction. Right? If a man like this, how a human being should react.
Yes.
Is how we are reacting. But all the muka, spiritually, all the muka, he also yeah. Also, I think so too. Yes, and what the Panamaka or what came back
for those that are listening, for abundance of that, the person you hearing his voice is this guy called Tony Nzumike, the wretched fool that was sleeping in our office in Germany, and this is the audio, one of the audio that he passed on to their distractor to blackmail our head of finance, a virtuous woman, but and at the same time they are blackmailing their own self, because like I said, once you're not pure in this struggle, okay, we always bring you out. He was asked a question on this conversation. We don't know who he was talking to. What hope do we have about our leader coming out? He said that is in the God, Ikechukwu means is in only God. We just tell you the mindset of the people that purportedly are the people reading us. So, and the person that is using this now to do program now saw opportunity and know that he's dealing with a bunch of clown. Why wouldn't he jump on it? I just want this audio to finish, and this program will call you a day.
After this stage,
yes.
Yes, all the time. Yes, although all the mega balance in
Yeah. You see, that is
the way it looks like.
You see, that is.
I will talk on this tomorrow because I'll go talk about this tomorrow because more I'm from the reason why. I'm from the reason why this kind of normal go anybody that this kind of trip. Or just first one is only so just second one.
Zoya.
Yeah?
Zoya.
Okay. You know what is they talking about when you went to Kenya? Ezo and our head of finance. No. This is the where you need to start asking question. If you guys are actually relevant to Onyendu, or if Onyendu trusts you guys as you claim, why did Onyendu not tell his so-called second in command where he was going? Which of course I knew they know where he was, but they're trying to exempt themselves. But if Madam Nyanya was aware, why weren't you aware? It tells a lot of stuff. But you see, the reason why I allow this voice to play tonight, because we've been playing this voice, we'll play it to just talk over it, and we'll continue to play it. Anytime I come on air, probably it won't be this chunk of it. But I will always reiterate on this particular, we must take ourselves back to basis where all this mayhem started, right? So this is the person that was having a private conversation. This guy gave a huge amount of information that tantamounted to be is a national security within IPOB, which in turns is what they call, when you give us such information, is what they describe as espionage within any armed organization or country or your own country you worked for and giving information. Just like you see Joe Biden now, they call it classified information. He was a vice which he has no power to declassify any information. But this guy now is far from that. But he was sent an errand. That errand is what he's here talking. Onyendu knocked his chest that the hardcore IPOB, they will never utter a word. They will drink cyanide. Is Nzurumike part of those people that will drink cyanide? And these are people that is in RCC, in our reconciliation committee, which the guy has bastardized, has gone around now. He is the king of Cabal. What they have done, what he's doing is grooming errats to attack people that have done nothing. But they will not see that of them, not why people else are still around. I want this to finish and we'll call it a night.
Ogwaro anybody.
Yes.
How can you create departments who are supposed to report to HOD?
Oh, blame Onyendu.
Yeah, this is Nzurumike blaming our leader, so it's very important, And who is using this to do program was Simon Ekpa, which they passed the audio to him, just to when they carried out that vigorous attack against our finance. They were all in one agreement to make sure they destroy IPOB finance within. But only blockade they've got and they still have is Madam Nyanya, because Madam Nyanya, she's not going anywhere. I warned them from the beginning, just like I'm still warning them now. They have got no business with our finance. Onyendu one, men should stay clear from our finance. It's on record. So anybody that trespassing within our finance, that person is the biggest enemy within IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There's no two ways about it. Even he don't even know where our leader is being held. This is the deputy head of Directorate of State, and people will tell you that we are protecting leadership. Nzurumike did not even know where Onyendu is being locked up. Is it the kind of people that they call leaders? The clown does not even know where our leader has been locked up. Now they're taking a shot at our leader. Like I said, these people are devilish. They're evil men.
It's coming there to report to you.
That was the problem.
Sorry, I don't remember.
Create a structure. Come here and maintain that structure. So when you report to what you know ahead of you. Get somebody report it to me direct. Report to me direct if you make it.
While any agent use here, you have few people to go this message for him.
Sure.
Yeah?
And we were not feeling too much, my brother. And before I
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
Yes, Thank you, wonderful people of Biafra and fellow comrades, those that are watching me. Tonight is a bit of today is a wonderful day, to be quite frankly with you. And this program, earlier on before I start, there was a little bit of issues with my system, but subsequently everything was fine. So I'm gonna stop this program here. Probably midweek I will do a program specifically for couple stuffs. But tonight this program is very, very important that you go back and listen. Those are it's very important that you pay attention on the ears of the words. There's no need of gimmicks any longer. This man within IPOB and the biggest obstacle that IPOB have. But we will stay true. We've done it before. Like I said, we will overrun them. Because good because evil. Evil men will not see the light of the day within IPOB. Mazi and Nnamdi Kanu will come out triumphantly. But as it stands today, these people has got no place within IPOB. You know, all of them, they knows that. And not why people like us are around. They know that whatever they have done, there's a consequences and there's a day for them to answer to whatever they have done. I just want to thank every single one of you that have listened and those that are going to watch this program. Your mind has to be open. Your frontal lobes should be activated. And you have to critical think. Like our leader's wife said, if somebody said that someone pushed something, you ask why. All these words, all these voices you've heard, listen to them again and ask yourself question. Which direction are these people taking us? Every single thing that has happened, this man was warned. There was a direct message from our leader. But they ignore every single one of them. Every single one of them, they ignored it. Tells you all you need to know. I will rest my case here. And I thank all of you. All I'm going to do again, as I normally do, I will put our leader's lamentation for those three IPOB members, wherever you are hiding. I think it's about time you come out. There's no hiding place. For me, from here, good night.
Our people are lame. They are weak. I am struggling to count how many men there are in Biafra land. There are no more men left. Weak, docile, and imbecilic. Weak. I don't know how we can take such people to war. I don't know how we can take men who are not men into battle and win. I am ashamed. Very, very ashamed. Nonetheless, we must preach this very gospel because man did not ask us to come. Chukwu Abiyama in heaven mandated that we should come. If not, that I was called to do this very work, I will not speak to any of you anymore. But Chukwu Abiyama said this very gospel must be preached, and we must preach it. I have prayed since yesterday up until now. My request is very simple. The same prayer I made in secret, I will make out here in the open. Chukwu Abiyama biko. Since it is your intention that your kingdom will be restored upon this very earth, I need men. I need men. I did not say boys. I said I need men. Those of them that you created to restore your kingdom, they should come forward now, not tomorrow, not next year. Chukwu Abiyama. You must bring them now. I did not say tomorrow. Because the insult is too much. It is beyond what any human being can endure. We want to go and get Biafra, or we die in the process, because we are better off dead than witness some of this nonsense going on. The level of insult is beyond what any decent human being can tolerate. I was an Achinama. They bring their cattle into our land. They desecrate our land. They kill us in the presence of our families and nobody does anything about it. And when the police attend, the police sit idly by as people are being killed by not a multitude of people. Only 4. Only 4 Awasa people can sack an entire village in Biafra land, and we call ourselves men. No, we are not men. Until we redeem our honor. Until we look at integrity and say, we must have a part of it. Until then, to be honest with you. This is Radio Biafra. Now,